Hi guys, welcome to my corner of the internet again. In this video, we'll be looking at 5 practical ways to get better at any tech skill you desire to learn or you're currently learning. So this video is for anyone who is desiring to learn a tech skill. You've been hearing about a tech skill. For example, there's a lot of talk about virtual assistant, data analysis, software engineering, web development, and the likes. And you're really interested in getting into the tech space, and it's been on your mind, but then you're kind of feeling overwhelmed and you're confused on how to go about learning. This video is for you, and this video is also for the person who has started diving into learning. You're currently in the beginner phase of any tech skill and you're feeling overwhelmed, you're confused on how to navigate your way around learning it. This video is for you. Let's jump right into it. Number one, start with small projects. The best way to comment is to start by learning, start by working on little projects. So don't get overwhelmed with multiple information, because I understand that at this point there's the temptation there's the temptation to keep learning, to keep getting information, keep watching videos, keep reading on that topic without actually doing anything. So you want to get out of that cycle of information ingesting to doing something, to working on small projects. Like, I mean, very small projects. Start with small manageable projects, little things you can work on. It could be as small as, okay, recording a 1 minute video and editing it. If you want to go into video editing, it could be as little as recording a 5 minute video or getting a 5 minute clip from somebody and editing it. Or it could be as simple as, maybe as a data analyst, you pick a simple data set and you work on cleaning it, analyzing it and visualizing it. If you're currently a web developer, you're looking to go into web development, just work on a simple task like developing a calculator or something, or developing an app that translates Word document into PDF or something. Yeah, just working on a very small project. Start by doing. You've taken in a lot of information. Now it's time to get to do something. Work on small manageable projects instead of just consuming information. That's the first most important thing to do on your journey in getting better. Number two, avoid over analyzing. Just start. Oh my god, avoid over analyzing. Just start. I can tell you for one that I can be an over analyzer. Yes, I can be such an over analyzer that I overanalyze it to the extent where I just like, oh, I shouldn't bother. I should look for something else, and I leave that skill, and go to another skill. So you don't want to keep overanalyzing it. Just start. There's never going to be a perfect time for you to start. Just start. And I mean this very much. Just start. There's no perfect time. There's no perfect equipment. There's no perfect gadget. There's no perfect situation. Trust me, if you think, okay, you don't have the time now, you're never going to have the time. Trust me, you are never going to have the time. So just start. Avoid overanalyzing, avoid over researching on the topic. Just begin to do something. If you're into data analysis, and I know I keep talking about data analysis because I love it so much, I do it a lot, so is what I'm really comfortable with. I'm comfortable talking about. But then if you're doing data analysis, for example, let's say you're doing data analysis, start by picking a simple data set and working on, okay, how do I convert a range of data into a table? How do I do some automatic filtering? How do I do conditional formatting? How do I order my data from largest to smallest? How do I create a pivot table? How does pivot table work? How do I create a chart? All those little things. Just start by doing something. Stop analyzing. Reduce the analysis, reduce the research, and begin to invest that time you put into research, into doing. Is going to pay off in the end. So start now. Stop over analyzing. So now that you've started, the third thing to do is to seek feedback. As you're working, it would be great if you have somebody who knows what you're doing, or knows the industry, or knows the skill a little better than yourself, that can give you feedback. However, don't feel stuck if you don't have somebody like that. I didn't have somebody who could give me feedback on what I was doing. So what I did was I worked on guided projects on YouTube. What are guided projects? Guided projects are projects where people are working on a project and they are working on it with you, whether in form of a YouTube video or whatever other form of educational content it might be. I prefer YouTube video. Yeah, YouTube video that work on projects in Excel, in Power BI, in SQL. So working on guided projects helps with the whole feedback loop, because whatever the person who is running the project is doing, you are seeing it and you are seeing how it's working, and then you're able to implement it. It reduces the bottlenecks you might encounter. It reduces any error, any issue you might have. So having that goes a long way. If you have somebody physically who has mastered that skill, then perfect, very perfect. You can always reach out to them. Okay, I've gotten stuck here. Okay, this is what I did. How can it be better and all? But then the feedback. You need feedback. You need feedback. You need feedback to help you improve, to help you see things from a different perspective. Because sometimes all we need is just somebody who sees things differently than us, because you can't always see all sides to the situation. So yeah, having feedback is very, very important. I think this is one of the most important step in this whole five step framework, which is be consistent. Be consistent. Be consistent. Build a habit around that skill. Build a habit around that skill. And why do I say be consistent? The thing about learning a tech skill is that if you don't consistently do it, there's a likeliest tendency for you to forget. If you don't continue to do it, you are likely and more likely to forget it. So be consistent. Build a routine, whether it's going to be once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, that you're going to work on project or work on something around that skill. It's going to go a long way. So do it. Build a habit around it. Build a system around it that helps you to do it frequently, that helps you do it consistently. You need to build consistency now that you're learning. You don't want to pick it up and drop it after every 1 day, every 2 days, every 1 week, every 2 months. You pick it this month and then you don't do it again till August. You pick it in August, you don't do it again till the next year, February. So you don't want to do that. For you to learn and get better, you need some level of consistency. And myself, talking about consistency, I don't do too well with consistency. But then I've learned over time that without consistency, I can't learn this thing. Without consistency, doing it every now and again, I can't learn it. So what I did to help me with consistency is work on a guided project. Honestly, like, just pick a project you want to work on and work on that project. Working on that project takes you through the different phase of that skill, takes you to use different tools, different strategies, different frameworks in that skill you're learning, and then it helps you get a holistic approach, a holistic knowledge, a holistic idea of how to do things, or how to work on things, how to solve problems with that skill. So I think guided projects are very, very important. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier about the YouTube guided project. Working on a YouTube guided project helps a lot. It helps a lot. And I think it gives you motivation to be consistent, because you want to see the next thing, you want to see how they did the next thing, you want to see how they did the next thing. And then like that, you're able to build consistency. So consistency and building a habit around the skill is very, very important. Like, we cannot overemphasize it. Okay, so be consistent at it. Last but not the least, join a community. Be part of a community. And I say be part of a community, I'm not really part of any tech community myself, but then if you have access to, be part of a community, be part of people who are doing things around that skill you're learning. It motivates you, it inspires you, it puts fire behind you to get better, to get at it, to keep going at it. Because when you begin to see people recording their win, talking about their wins, talking about things they've worked on, you are inspired, you are motivated to also take yours seriously. Like they say, iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. So you want to be around communities that can motivate you and inspire you and charge you forward towards learning that skill and being better at that skill. And another beauty about community is that you get latest information, you get hands-on information. People share their difficulties, people share their their roadblocks, and they share their challenges, and you're able to learn. People share challenges, other people share solutions to those challenges, and then even if you're not facing that challenge at the moment, you're able to learn for future scenarios, for future challenges you might face. So joining a community is very, very, very important. And that brings us to the end of this video. If you found this video helpful, drop a like, drop a comment, tell me what resonated with you. Tell me which point you think stands out more than the other, and I'll be happy to reply your comments in the comment section. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Encourage me to keep posting video. I'm very new here, as you can tell, and I'm hoping to get better at it and to also keep dishing out valuable information to you. Until the next video, stay blessed. Take care.